Hey, you guys. Just want to make like a late night vlog, I guess. I'm on my way home from town. I came out to town to DoorDash for a little while. And just had my late dinner. I'm on my way home now. And things are going good. I got my paycheck, which I'm very, very excited about. Very, really, really happy to have that. I was waiting for a while for it, so it's like finally at long last. And so, yeah, it feels great. It feels great paying my tithe, and it feels great, getting ready to pay some bills and that sort of thing. It just feels great that I have what I need to be able to do what I need to do. That's how I feel. It feels great. So, and at the end of the day, money is definitely not everything. And it's here today, gone tomorrow, if you're not careful. It comes and goes so quickly. So, it's not something to hold on to, if you know what I mean. I don't mean not save, but I mean, like, it's not something you want to hold on to, like, put your faith in kind of thing. But, I've had a lot of thoughts, and I've kind of noticed a lot of different things. I feel like these past few days have just really hit differently. And I think some of it, at least for me, in my family, in my immediate circle, I can feel shifts and things changing a little bit here and there. It's just different, and it's different as time goes on at church as well, because we have a newer branch president, and the leadership is just a little different, and the direction and things are just different. And as time goes on, we continue to do more of what the Lord wants, but the Lord is doing things differently. He wants things done a little differently. And so it's just really exciting. It's really exciting. I need to make a video about that. But it's really cool because as time goes, because things can only happen so quick. I mean, things do happen fast all the time, faster and faster all the time. But it still takes time for things to happen. There is still a timetable and God's timing about things, which is just wonderful. It's such a natural process, a natural pace. And sometimes it's faster than us, sometimes it's slower than us. But it's always right. And I just love that fact, I just love that fact. But yeah, so things have been a little different. My brother got baptized on Sunday, not into the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, but into my dad's church, which is like a Baptist church. And it was really cool. And I mean, I support him, and part of me is just like, man, I long so freaking badly to share the church with my family, to share the restored gospel with my family, to lead them into the church. I long so badly. And there's actually a lot of really cool things that have been happening. So I know it's really crazy. Every once in a while, I get little glimpses here and there. I'm being honest here, and this is just amazing. But I mean, like, my family, nobody is, as far as I know. I mean, basically, it's not like anyone in my family right now is like really close to getting baptized into the church. But there's a lot of potential, and I can feel things getting closer. And I'm going to try to talk about this real quick, and it's really hard to talk about because I felt it, and I understood it, and I comprehended it. But putting it into words is another story. So let's just start slow, and I'll be able to do this. So a lot of things have been happening in my family, like on my dad's side specifically. And first of all, I'm going to say this, and I don't care what you think about it, and I'm not trying to be rude, but I mean, this is an easy thing to scoff at, what I'm about to say. It's an easy thing to judge. So, but it's also true. Well, anyway, I know that being a member in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has made a huge difference in my life and continues to make a huge difference in my life. And I know that it makes a huge difference in the people around me's life. All my coworkers, friends, people who are around me a lot, family, everything. It echoes out. The more you keep your covenants, the more it echoes out and makes a bigger difference. I know that's true. And I know that part of the reason why a lot of really great things are happening to me and my family are because of my faithfulness to the Lord and keeping my covenants and being a member in His church and holding the calling and doing the things I'm supposed to do, holding the priesthood and trying to, be a good steward of the priesthood, do the things I'm supposed to do. I know that great things are happening in my family because of that. And I'm not necessarily going to say that all the great things in my family are happening because of that, but the controversial thing is I wouldn't venture to say that it wouldn't surprise me if that's the case. And I also know that a lot of the good things happening in my family are because of people's choices to follow God, to go to church, to do things like that. That's happening, and that's one of the big blessings that's happening in my family right now. But also, I know that by being obedient to God and having the Spirit in my life, having more of the Spirit in my life, and it wearing off and rubbing off on people, it kind of just goes through your family, permeates your family somehow. It's just amazing, even the ones you don't see all the time. So anyway, like my dad and stepmom have been going to church. They've been consistent churchgoers like pretty much their whole marriage since like 1994, and they got serious later on. But they've been very faithful. They're very active and involved in their church for the most part, and just trying to do what the Lord wants them to do. And they run a business. They own a company, so they're very busy. My stepbrother, he'll go to church with them sometimes on special occasion, but he kind of does his own thing. My other brother goes to church with his wife and has always gone to church on his own pretty much, or faithfully with my parents. And then my other brother was an agnostic for a long time. And when I was an atheist or agnostic or whatever, he was as well, basically. And me and him have been very close. Our paths have been very similar. And in the past 4 years, I've joined the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and he just got baptized this weekend. So he has come a long way. And so now, and also, so like at this point right now, like everyone on my dad's side of the family is going to church and is active in church. That is an amazing, amazing thing. And yes, all the churches that they go to are not the true Church of Jesus Christ. But at the same time, they're going to church. They are focusing on God. They are trying to do things the right way as best they can. And it's honestly amazing. It's a difference. And I see this difference. And it's important, and it's nice to talk about, and it's important to point out, because I was here. This is not imaginary. This is actually real. And these kinds of things can become kind of elusive over time, because things happen and changes happen, and you go, did that really happen? And then you have to ask yourself, did it really happen? And you have to think, and sometimes you have to pinch yourself and say, wait, actually, yeah, it did happen. Like when I think about it, 2 or 3 years ago, basically my dad and stepmom went to church, and so did my brother Christopher. But like my other brother didn't, and his wife didn't. And not to judge anyone, but basically just saying that people were, of course, I'm not gonna talk about anyone specifically. This could be anyone, but people in my family were doing things that they shouldn't be doing. Or doing things that they should be doing, but doing it the wrong way. Kind of like you're in love with someone, but you aren't married, but you're living together. Those kinds of things. Just like, and these are normal human things. These are things that I've done. These are things that, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's done these kinds of things, because everyone's not perfect. But those things were happening, and they weren't going to church. And I'm not sitting here saying, I'm not trying to judge or anything. I'm just making a point. Fast forward to today. All my siblings on that side, well, both my brothers are going to church, which is a huge deal. They're both married. Both of their wives go to church with them. They both go to church with their wives. They're both committed, and they both believe in Jesus Christ. They both believe, they believe in God. They believe it's important to go to church. They believe they're not just going to go. They're going because they know it's the right thing to do. And they're trying to do what's right. They're intentionally going. They're not just going to appease someone or to check off a box or anything like that. They're going because they think it's right, because they believe it's actually right. What a miracle. What a blessing. And then my stepmom's sister, who I call Aunt Tina, she and her husband, who grew up going to church, they grew up in the church pretty much, at least Aunt Tina did at least Aunt Tina did. I don't know about Uncle Matt. They are going to church now. And not just that, wait for it, both of their daughters are as well. And guess what? Wait for it. One of their daughters is married and has children, and her little family are going to church. And wait for it, the other one, who went through a rough relationship, got married, and divorced, has now found her true love and is engaged and is going to church with him. And he's wonderful, and he's an amazing humanitarian type guy, working in a really, really honorable, his career is very honorable. He serves in prisons, and he basically is a therapist and ministers to people. He's a Christian as well. He's it's amazing. It's mind-blowing, right? So all of these really wonderful things are happening in my family, and it's just it's really crazy. And I know that, like I said, 2 or 3 years ago, this stuff wasn't happening. And fast forward to today, what's going on? Oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then on Easter Sunday, at the shindig at my dad's house, Uncle Matt, who I would never expect to really do this, busts out a Bible and it's okay guys, and everyone's whoa, everybody get inside, we're going to read the Bible. And it's what are we doing? What? Not that this is wrong, of course, but who are we? Who is this all? Who are we all of a sudden? We're actually reading the Bible? What? This is amazing. As a family? What? Where someone's reading a verse? What? This is amazing, right? This is amazing. So it is so amazing that these things are happening. And has had that moment, right? And my aunt and uncle were there, all my cousins and all of their children were there. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And it was crazy because so much of the full spectrum of Christianity was represented, basically. Basically one of the only sects of Christianity that wasn't represented was the Orthodox Church. But there were Catholics, a Latter-day Saint, Protestants, including Baptists, Wesleyans, all just a full gamut of the spectrum, which was so freaking cool. It was really cool. And so this was just really special. It was just really special. And but with all of that said, and this is the really cool part. This is the really cool part for me, at least. And it's cool for everybody, actually. They just don't know it yet. But the cool part is, and this is kind of hard to talk about because it's special, but it's true, and it's amazing. With all these really awesome things happening, people getting married, babies being born. No babies are being born right now, but that'll be happening. And my brother finally getting baptized. My family, that side of the family at least, right now, is in a place where so many amazing things are happening, and it's so hard to comprehend how amazing it all is, that you can only think, well, what is next? Dude, things are going amazing. This is amazing. What's next? And then I start thinking, well, what's next? They're going to start asking. And you can call me crazy. It's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. I've already seen this. I already know this is true. I've already had the witness of the Spirit to tell me this is true. They're going to start finding out about the church. They're going to start asking questions. They're going to start getting closer to the church. And little by little, one by one, as they're ready, they're going to start coming to the church. And they're going to get baptized. And they're going to become members. and my family is going to belong to the church. You know what I mean? Be members of the church. And that thought destroys me in the best way possible. Destroys in the good way. Erects me, you know. It wrecks me, overwhelms me, amazes me, blows me away. So beyond amazed. And so, and I know, because I've been doing this, I was telling my friend about this, but I know that I've kind of been putting in the work silently, quietly, just putting my head down, going to work, so to speak, going to, not that churches work, but for the analogy, like going to work, going to church, doing what I'm supposed to do, carrying the church, carrying the flame, carrying the torch for my family, and not being able to hand it to anybody, which is okay, because no one's ready to carry it yet, but they're getting closer. And I know that all the work that I've put in, the long suffering, the, you know, trying to discern the spirit about, should I talk about this? Should I ask about this? Can I say this? Can I tell my dad about this? Can I share? Can I say what the Book of Mormon is? Can I share? It's very touchy sometimes. Like, my stepmom is she's very defensive and protective of her family and of their beliefs and of controversy. She doesn't want any controversy and things like that. And it's very, very taboo. So it's a lot to navigate, knowing what to say and how to say it. You want to take advantage of those opportunities, but you don't want to take advantage of opportunities at people's expense, of course. And I've been learning a lot, like counsel from the stake president, to tell people the truth but not poke them in the eye with it. Learning how to do that, learning how to share the church with people at the right time, in the right way. Like, my dad came to the Christmas dinner at church this past Christmas, which was amazing. And it was going to be my dad and my stepmom, but my dad was willing and ready. My stepmom wasn't. And that's okay. But I know that I'm going to be able to share the church with my family. And I'm really, really, really excited. And I know that the hard work is going to pay off, of just kind of doing what I'm supposed to do, not really trying to talk about it, or not forcing conversations, of course not being rude, but not, like, it's tricky sometimes when you know something as amazing as the church and you just want to share it with people, but you can't because they're not ready for it. And you don't want to push them away. You don't want to scare them away. You want to do it right. You want to make sure that when you share it with them, they're actually ready to hear it. And it will actually fall not on deaf ears, but it will fall on good soil. It's like that, the parable of the sower, I guess, or the parable of the seeds, making sure they go in the right place. And so I'm really, really, really excited. I have my Meet the Mormons Blu-ray, and I have shown it to my dad. We haven't watched it, but I showed him the case. And I wanted to watch it with him and my stepmom, and I pulled it out to show both of them. And my stepmom's reaction was like, "Whoa, what the heck are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, shoot." I was like, "Oh, my bad. Like, I didn't know." I'm sorry. I guess I should have known, but at the same time, it's so hard to know sometimes. Like, the discernment game, the discernment is real. You have to have that discernment for real, because, like, if you don't, you're going to straight up have those clown moments. Not to say, like, I'm a clown or anything, or that's not really clown moments, but what I mean is, like, you go to do something, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to do this thing. It's like, oh, shoot. But then again, it's like, that's part of the challenge, like, and that's like the missionaries, like, their job is to share the gospel, and they do the best they can. Does it always work? No. Well, I mean, does it always go great? No, not initially, and very often it doesn't go great initially at all. But the reason I say initially is because, and when I say does it work, it does work. It does work. The thing is, like I said, people just aren't ready for it. And it's okay that they're not ready for it. That doesn't mean force it and push it, of course. But what I mean is, the gospel is the truth. And when you share the truth with people, those seeds are good seeds. And when you share good seeds, they do what they're supposed to do. They don't fall away. And yes, you have to water them, you have to take care of them, and protect them, take care of them. But those good things, the Spirit doesn't go away. The Spirit testifies of truth. And the truth doesn't change. The truth is still a truth, whether we believe it or not. It's still true. So, and that's one of the reasons why this works. That's one of the reasons why you continue to keep the commandments. You continue to be faithful. You continue to go to church. You continue to fulfill the duties of your calling. You continue to keep your covenants. You continue to pray. Continue to do your scripture study. Continue to do all the things you're supposed to do. And the Spirit will be with you. And not only will the Spirit be with you, the Spirit will be with your family. And it will rub off on them. It will influence them. Just keep doing what you're supposed to do. It will happen. It will work. I know it will. Just keep doing what you're supposed to do. It doesn't matter if it happens now or later. What matters is doing the right thing. Because the right thing leads to the best things. And we can't really accomplish those big things without doing the little things along the way. So let's keep on doing those little things, so to speak, because they're not so little after all. They're amazing and they're huge. So let's just keep doing that. And I say this and share this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you guys for watching. And keep doing that good stuff. It's going to make a really big difference.